Yeah, Tim, it's funny. On Facebook, my boy Todd Atkins, who got me started on the videos, said the same thing. But I'm going to tell you guys this. Listen, I met Cesar a few times. He's a very good jiu-jitsu teacher. He was always very respectful to me. He was never disrespectful to me. I heard a mouthful from the scrap pack about, what a manipulative guy he was and, how he would screw you over and whatnot. But I never saw that personally. Like, I saw Tarek Azim laughing at me and making fun of me with Jake and with Gil and all them. I saw them avoid me. Like, I talk about stuff I know. I don't know that about Caesar. And I want to say something else. Listen, those guys were like herding squirrels. I mean, personalities like Nick, Nate Diaz, Gil Melendez, and Jake Shields. You think that's easy to keep them on one team? I think it's next to impossible, to be totally honest with you. So he had to keep sort of a real loose rein to keep any kind of control of those guys. That having been said, is Caesar perfect? No. I mean, of course he's not. He's a human being. But I'll tell you something a lawyer said to me, and the lawyer was smiling at me. He was a jiu-jitsu guy, and they're a jiu-jitsu school originally, right? And the lawyer said, Derek, look, these guys can say whatever they want, but Caesar does this for a living. What does that mean? That means that Caesar's got to get as much money as possible for his family based on what he does. And what does Caesar do? Caesar does jiu-jitsu. He does martial arts for a living. So what do these guys want Caesar to do? And do everything for free and it was a very logical way of putting it out there, that, this is Caesar's business and that's how he makes money and it's how he takes care of his family. And the rest of them were kids, right? So, and I know we've heard in the news recently, Caesar vehemently denies it, that part of Nick's problems is he's having contract disputes with Caesar. I don't know if that's true. I can tell you this, guys. So after Nick fought George St. Pierre in Canada, I think it was, he had a lawyer up there. And that lawyer called my little brother Jared, totally unbeknownst to him that there was any connection with me. And he had my little brother Jared do some work for him. Well, that lawyer working for Nick Diaz stiffed my little brother. I mean, it was no big deal. It was $500-600 or whatever it was. But, everybody can say whatever they want about everybody else. But, look, when it comes to money, people act very, very strangely, right? Like, that's what we're on this earth to do, right, is survive. And survival on this earth costs money. So there's always going to be conflict as far as that goes. And by the way, that's also what Tarek Azim was doing with me. Why did he throw shade on me? He was terrified that, Jake and Gil would wake up and realize, well, Derek knows a lot more than Tarek. Why would Tarek be in my corner? But man, that's just funny. That's just how people are, and you can't change that. As far as Caesar being responsible for the behavior of the whole scrap pack, I don't buy it, man. I just don't see it. Remember Warrior of the Light for more.